An upper-level low spinning off the coast of California is the first of two major disturbances that will set off several days of severe weather for the middle of the country for not only Thursday and Friday, but for the weekend as well, for both Saturday and Sunday. I'll have a detailed look at all that active weather coming your way next. Hey, welcome back everybody to the Weather Nerds YouTube channel. I'm your host, Greg Majeski, your personal weatherman, making a difference one subscriber at a time. And if you're new to the channel and you've not yet subscribed, if you like what you see in this report, please consider subscribing. Just hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future content, and leave me a thumbs up, as it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. Now, we got plenty to dive into for this edition, so the first thing we're going to look at is the latest information from the Storms Prediction Center. So we're going to first start off with our day 2 outlook. That's when things really start to get cranking as we watch that disturbance that's going to roll in out of California into the southwest part of the United States. And you notice the enhanced area. That's that orange region right there. That'll be the highest risk for severe weather as we go throughout the day, Thursday and into your Friday morning. Now, these include the cities of Dodge City, Liberland, Kansas, Pampa, Texas, Great Bend, Kansas, and Woodward, Oklahoma. For the highest areas for severe weather. The slight risk includes Oklahoma City, Wichita, Kansas, as well as Lubbock, Texas, Abilene, Texas, and Norman, Oklahoma. Now, as we break this down by the category, we look at where the highest tornado risk will be, obviously in that enhanced area, about a 10% chance there, covering the yellow zone from Kansas down through Oklahoma and into parts of the Texas Panhandle. The wind damage will cover a great area, generally where that same area where that slight risk for severe weather will be running. That'll be running about 15%. That includes Oklahoma City, Wichita, Lubbock, Abilene, and Norman, Oklahoma. And then finally, looking at where the hail will be setting up there, again, we got a red region in there, roughly about the same place where the tornado risk will be running its highest at about 30%. Again, that's for Dodge City, Kansas, Great Bend, Kansas, Woodward, Oklahoma, and Elk City, Oklahoma. Now, this severe weather will continue to push off toward the east as we look at the day 3 outlook. It'll shift a little bit further to the east, covering a kind of a greater area of coverage across the central portion of the United States. So that slight risk includes major metropolitans such as Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, and Omaha, Nebraska, covering that yellow zone right through there. Could not disregard the chance that maybe we'll see an enhanced area in here get updated later, but for right now, it's under a slight risk. And as that second piece of energy comes rotating out, we got another explosion of severe weather with that 30% there covering areas from Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Norman, and Wichita Falls, Texas on your Saturday. And that'll continue into day 5 as well from 4 to 5, covering areas from Wisconsin all the way back down toward eastern Texas. So now we're going to do some in-depth analysis here as we're going to be looking at the short-term model run here on the high-resolution model. It's going to kind of take a look at how things are going to progress over the next 48 hours. Notice I do have the new timestamp up there, and it is Eastern Daylight Time just for your reference there. So let me go ahead and get on out of here. I'm going to watch the surface cape first. Again, the cape is that fuel for the fire to help support any potential severe weather or thunderstorms. So think of it as a bit of gasoline. You notice it kind of increasing there across Texas as we go into Thursday and kind of creeps up into Oklahoma and into Kansas area. That's kind of that battle zone that we're going to be watching for, that potential for severe weather as we go throughout the day on Thursday and into your Friday morning. And notice it stays pretty elevated even into the evening hours as that low begins to push on up into Nebraska as we head into the early morning hours on your Friday. So shifting over to the significant tornado parameter, it kind of takes into account available helicity and energy, some different parameters, and where potential for significant tornadoes may occur. So we're going to go ahead and step this model forward here as we go in through the day on your going into Thursday. So we're going into the early morning hours on Thursday. You see it kind of going up here across portions of the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma, and into Kansas. And it really gets fired up here as we go into the late afternoon hours. Look at this. We're going to the early evening hours there on your Thursday with that high pattern of purple right through here. And it kind of progresses off toward the east into Kansas and kind of stretches down into Texas as we go into the early morning hours on your Friday. So we've looked at a couple of the parameters there. Now we got to see if it's going to line up with the actual precipitation outlook here on the high resolution model. So as we go ahead and track this here as we go in through the day on your Thursday. So I'm going to bring this, go ahead and forward. We're going to be watching that low pressure system that's off the California coast. It's going to be ejecting into the southwest as we go through Thursday and into Friday. Notice we do get that one little cluster of storms here to flare up here throughout the early morning hours there, coming out of Nebraska and in through Kansas and into Missouri on your Thursday. So, and this will kind of push off toward the east. And then as that low begins to spin, you see it spinning there across Colorado as we go into the late evening hours on Thursday. We'll see activity kind of explode across areas of Nebraska. And I think where the severe weather will be at its highest risk for tornadoes will probably be into the early morning hours. Look at the outbreak there of those thunderstorms across Texas and Oklahoma there going into the early morning hours. That's when the tornado parameters were at the highest, as we're going to see a kind of a squall line kind of set up there, moving and punching in through the central portions of Oklahoma, and just a general rain shield across areas of Iowa and up to the Dakotas. And this severe weather will push off toward the east as we head toward the early morning hours on your Friday. So switching over to the European model, we'll kind of do a little bit of a comparison with the high resolution for the short term, and then we'll also take it through the entire weekend into Saturday and Sunday and see how things will progress here as we go into this upcoming weekend as we're dealing with this multi-day severe weather event. So let's go ahead and bring this forward here as we continue through Thursday. Again, we're seeing pretty much line up there with the showers and storms across portions of Kansas and Oklahoma. So it looks like it's a little bit further off toward the west than what the high resolution model was showing there. Had a little more activity there into Missouri, but you're seeing some active weather there across Kansas and Oklahoma by 2 o'clock in the afternoon there on your Thursday. And then this will push off toward the east as we go to the early morning hours. Then we'll watch for that storms to kind of develop again during the early morning hours there across Oklahoma and down toward Texas as this pushes off toward the east. And then we'll see the severe weather that'll shift off toward the east, again, covering from Wisconsin back down toward Texas once again with that day 3 outlook, with that severe weather pushing off toward the east there throughout the day on Friday and into your Saturday morning as that low pressure system continues to move up toward the north there. Then we'll see that next piece of energy kind of rotate out once again as we go into the southern plains, and we'll watch it as it progresses throughout the day, late in the afternoon on Saturday, with some more severe weather across portions of Oklahoma and down toward Texas once again, as this will begin to push off toward the east of that other little low pressure system. Pretty good squall line there during the early morning hours on Sunday, showing up here on the European model from Oklahoma back down toward Texas. DFW could be in the crosshairs on that one here according to the European model. And that this will begin to push off toward the east throughout the day on Sunday, as that low once again almost follows the same path of the last one with that active severe weather continuing. And then it looks like the storm will begin to lose its punch a little bit as we still see some storms down toward East Texas and Louisiana late in the day, or I should say early in the morning on your Monday morning as this pushes off toward the east. And it looks like we'll just see that storm system kind of fizzle on out, and we'll see things begin to improve and looking pretty quiet as we enter into the first portion of next week. Now, of course, since we've got a couple of storm systems that are going to kind of follow almost identical paths, the flooding risk could be quite significant with these storms. So let's look at the European model as far as the potential rainfall totals here as I go ahead and take you all the way out here to about Tuesday morning. I'll stop it there on Tuesday. But you can clearly see with the one on top of the other systems, as far as the rainfall total is concerned, will be quite significant. So you're looking at some significant rains there, especially across portions of Oklahoma, Arkansas, into East Texas. Rainfall amounts could easily eclipse some 6 to 7 inches and some locally heavy rainfall in those areas. So flood watches definitely might be of concern as we go through this upcoming weekend, as well as dealing with that active severe weather and tornado threat. Now, I am planning to do some severe weather coverage depending on how things evolve here over the weekend. So if you like to participate and be alerted on when that severe weather coverage is going on, all you got to do is please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted when I'm doing those live broadcasts. Now, it's going to be pretty active here for the next several days. So if you don't have a weather radio, go and get yourself one, or at least make sure you have the latest storm app on your phone so you're alerted on any potential severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings that may be issued from our fellow brothers there at the National Weather Service to keep you informed and keep you safe during these upcoming storms. It's that time of year. All right, that's it for this edition. You guys take it easy. Again, I appreciate all your support. Take it easy, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next update. Till then, bye-bye for now.